Okay. Okay. Yesterday we were talking about, this is an employee service. We are creating the employee records and update the employee records, and we can based on the ID, we can retrieve the record and we can update it. That is the ID, and get mapping and get all employees and delete ID, delete by ID. Okay. Now what we'll do first, let's open Oracle Workbench. Oracle Workbench. Oracle Workbench. Let's see yesterday's record. Then let's open Postman to Postman. Now I want to connect this. Clicking on this one, we can connect the DB. See, this is the DB. Yesterday we were talked about, and show databases. Okay, show tables. I am not using any table right now. That is the reason it's showing. Then you know, show database tables. Now we need to use show databases. Show database, we have so many databases. I want to use Yogi. Then what we need to do? use Yogi database. Okay. Once Yogi database used, now Yogi database is, now you can show tables. You will get the one table, that is employee entity. That employee entity, yesterday we were talked about. Select star from employee entity. Then what are the data we have? Yesterday we have inserted. The data will be there in the employee record sheet and transaction. Okay. Now what is the, now how we are pushing? We are pushing the data through Postman. Go to the body and select raw, here JSON beauty this weekend. Okay, now we can add, like, one more record, that is a 6,000 record, and uh, you know, the answer BLR 9,000. Okay, now when I'm clicking on here, it will, again, what happened here. Same error. Okay, sorry. But we are putting post, but what is the URL? API dot all employees we are sending. That's not right, right? Post mapping, what is the request? Post mapping, if you're saying post mapping, API/create, API/create, so that it will create the record. See, API/create. Now we can push this record. Employee record saved success in DB. Now, if you're going to the DB, again, now answer is not there. Now, if you're clicking on here and clicking on here, then you get the answer 600. This is a what, inserting the DB, or inserting the DB. Now I want to get the I'll close this and all. Now what is the use of, I'm not using this. Okay. Now I want to get the element from the DB. Get all. Then you can go to the right click, duplicate open, and now you can put, instead of put, you can use get, and localhost 8080 common. Then API also common. Now what we need to do? Get all. Get all method, where it is? Get all is, see, all employees. This is a get mapping. All employees, if you're adding, you'll get the all the employees. Okay, you get the all the employees. Now instead of create, you can ask get. Now all employees. Now you're using get mapping. Now if you're clicking on this, see, whatever the database employees is there, employee ID, name, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, it's coming. This is the what actually get map. Now I want to get based on ID. Okay. Now I want to get based on ID. What is the get based on ID? Um, get mapping, get employee based on ID. This you can copy, duplicate tab, one more open, open, right click, open. Then here you can paste here. Then ID you can say, what is the ID? 600 or 500. Your IDs is there no in the database. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, right? Then what happened? Clicking on here, see what happened. We can not there. Okay. Employee ID, where employee ID equal to Hibernate. What? Okay. Then if you're not working, then what we add? I told you, we can debug the update. This is the get employee. Okay. Get employee based on ID. Okay. Implementation will go. Clicking on here, repository, find by EMP ID integer. Okay. Now this is the EMP ID. Yes, correct. Now what we need to do, I need to debug this where the issue is. Now right click, debug mode, stop and restart. Okay. Now start it. Now what we need to do? We need to push the message from the postman. This is a postman. Okay, sorry, I think so I have the things. Okay, now we'll see. Get the localized get employee 600. Why it's not going there? Request param employee for method type. Integer is not present. Okay. Okay. Now, if you're going to the controller, we have put mapping, sorry, get mapping, employee ID, path variable, not request, PATH, path variable, PA, path variable, path variable, PATH, path variable. Okay. Now again, I'll start run. Okay. Again, I need to debug and start and run. Now we will see. Okay, now Tomcat is started. Okay, then what happened? We'll go here. Where is that postman? Postman, and we can click in the 500. Now it's coming here. What is the ID you're passing? ID you're passing. That ID will be there in the path variable 600. Then you're calling this method, and we are calling what is this service start get the employee. Now right control clicking on the implementation. Then this I click, then implementation it will come now. This one is there, right? Missile call symbol, click that. Then it's coming to the here. Now you can evaluate the expression, copy this and right click, evaluate the expression. Then you'll see now data is coming. Employee 600, Anusa BLR 95,000. This is the what actually you're getting. Now right again, the missile call symbol, clicking on the return type. And here one play symbol is there that you can click on that. Now if you're seeing in the postman, see you're passing one ID, you get the one. For example, I want only 100 employee ID I want. Now I don't want to debug, then I'm disable my debug mode here. I'm muting the debug and I'll clicking on this 100. See, 100 employee came. 100 employee, who is that 100 employee? 100 employee is Raju and Hyderabad 100. Now I want 400 employee. Now I can add a 400. 400. That's 400. Geeta BLR 500 came. Now I want 300 employee. Banu. Now we can add 300. 300. Clicking on that, we'll get the 300 Banu BLR came. This is for get mapping. I want to get all, what I need to do. This is the get employee API, all employees. Then list of employees you'll get. If you want all the employees, you can get the list of employees. I want to insert the data. You can insert the data using post mapping. Post mapping for inserting the data. If you're seeing successfully inserted data is there or not, you need to check. Clicking on that, see 700 also inserted. This is a BLS, but ID is different, same name. Okay. This is the, we have completed now. What and all we know, post for create, get for getting the data from the database, all data, and based on ID. Now I want to delete. I want to delete. Now what method you need to use? Delete method. Then what is the URL? URL first. If you don't know, then you can copy paste here. Copy paste here. Now you can go to the delete by ID. Now that go to your application. Go to the controller. Now where is the delete mapping? Delete mapping is here. If you want to delete all the records, you can use all records delete. But you want to delete based on employee ID, then what we need to use? Is this one. Delete. Oops. Yeah, no. Delete EMP ID. This is the, what is the path? Hmm? Because this is anyway path, API path is same underscore API. This is the path we need to do. Now I'll go to, okay, I'll go to here. I'll construct a path. Path. Okay, I pasted here. Now what? Delete based on employee ID. Based on employee ID. For example, my employee ID is 100. I want to delete from the DB. 100. I want to delete from the DB. Now if you see how many records is there in the DB. If you're seeing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 records. I'm deleting 200, for example. Okay, I'm deleting 200. 200 based on the employee ID. Now clicking on this, may what happen again. Okay, we'll fix that issue. Like that only, we need to fix one by one. Okay, shared entity removal call cannot available process remove delete by ID. No team manager with the actual transaction available. Select Jakarta. Okay, okay. Okay. Then what we'll do, instead of restart, first delete all, we'll see. You delete all also not okay. Then we can write a wrong queries. Okay. Now delete all, how can I check? Clicking on that. This I'm putting it. Delete by this. Paste here. Delete all record. See, delete all records successfully. Maybe ID, you'll check, don't worry. Now, if you're showing the database, where is that? Employee database, nothing. There is no value. Deleted all the records. That is a delete all. Now, delete by ID. Before going to the delete by ID, what I need to do? I need to add the element, the DB. What I need to do? Insert, go to the post, and one record you can add successfully, and for name is same, no problem, but ID is different, right? Enough. 6, 9. Some of the records is there in the DB. Now, if you're seeing what is the records I have added, that those many records will be there in the DB. See now, 400, 600, okay. Now, what happened? Now, based on employee ID is not working. Why it is not working? Then what we need to do? How to fix this issue? Right click. Then first that will do. Before starting this, delete by ID is not working. How to debug? Double click on this one. Delete by ID. Where is the delete? Delete mapping. This is the delete by ID. Okay. Then add a breakpoint. Control. Clicking on this method. Go to the implementation. Then click here. Okay. Then sorry. Put a breakpoint here. Now what will happen? Delete by employee. Now what we need to do? We have to right click, go to the main class, right click, run in debug mode. Stop, run in debug. Anyway, it will start, right? Slowly. Then before going to that, we'll go to the delete by ID, get, see, that is a why it's not deleted because of this, I think so. But what is our delete by ID? What you need to do? This delete mapping you have to do, right? Delete method you have to select. But why we are not selecting? We are selecting get. Then what happened? Hey, you are selecting getter, but API slash get employee 300 is not there anywhere in controller. Then it will give the some error. Okay. 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 All employees post put. This is what delete all, right? Okay. Now what we need to do? Go to here. Delete you have to select first thing. After that, you need to go to your controller. In this controller, where is the delete by ID? Delete by ID is there. Oops. Whenever it's coming white mark, that means disable. You're muted your breakpoint. You have to enable it. Okay. Now delete by ID. Then copy this. Mhm. Oops, already came. Okay. Okay. Then you go to the postman. Then you can delete this one and add it. Delete by ID. Delete by ID. Then my ID may be 600. 600 already there. Now clicking on this. Now debug can. Now what is my integer? ID. Okay, great. It's coming proper. Now delete by employee ID based on that. Then, okay, click here, right click, evaluate expression. Go to that. See, no entity manager with the actual transaction available. Then this is the problem. What he is telling, see, this is not the, I know the solution, but I don't want to tell you. Now, what I need to do, I don't know, for example, you don't know. Then what we need to do? Jakarta persistent transaction, no entity actual transaction is not there. Then you can copy this error and check into the in your internet, GitHub Copilot, or whatever it may be, like you can do it. Okay. Now, if you're seeing here, now it will tell you, hey, you're not adding a transaction annotation in your code. Can you please add a transaction annotation? It will work. Ensure transaction management should be proper. See, in your uh, in your code, that means in your database query, you're not adding transaction. That is the reason I'm giving you this error. Will you please add this transaction to your. See, if you're reading this, you'll get to know what is the transaction. Hey, you are not using Spring Data, add this transaction annotation method, then invoke the entity manager option like remove. Then it will work. Okay. Then where should I have it? You have to add in the repository, in the delete mapping, in the up one, you have to add at the rate control V, transaction annotation. Transaction annotation when you're adding it, I'll ask you import. Then what? This is the Jakarta transaction. You can use it. If you don't know, then we can call it. Now what we need to do? Again, when the code changes, right, automatically we need to restart your application. Restart your application. That way we need to fix the issue using debug. Okay. Don't blindly you can go and check it won't work. Then you have to check it debug mode. That is a use code, right? In real time, we have so much code, right? We can't see telling this is the problem. We have to debug, then we get to know where to issue on that. Okay. Anyway, now what we need to do? Now, I am now I am trying same thing. I am using transaction now. Okay. Now, okay, my debug, and I'm going to the basically called symbol. I'm clicking on step over, and it's going on. Then I will evaluate. I'm doing evaluate expression. Right click, evaluate expression. See, now undefined. Something is coming. We'll see what will happen. But exception is not coming. See, now I think so. It's deployed. It's what it is called deleted. Deleted successfully came. We'll see if deleted or not. Message should came deleted successfully. I agree. But deleted data or not, we don't know. Then what we should check? You can check either get all records. Then you can check it. That is one way of checking 600 is deleted or not. And go to the database and check it. See, 600 is deleted. Then how we are fixing the issue? We are checking that transaction annotation we are not adding. We are beginning the transaction, but what happened? We are not adding the transaction. The entity manager is expecting a transaction. So, okay. Now I think so. We have done with the create, get, get by ID, and delete, delete by ID. These are. Now we need to do update. For instance, update method, we have two types again, update by ID and update all. Update all means all the records you can update. Hmm? You can go ahead with this. Here, we see update. Same way, we can update the record using update. Hmm? Now, what to do? We have to post is there, right? You have to duplicate it. Where is the duplicate? Post came here and update. Then what mapping you have to do? Put mapping for update. Go to the body and 900 also is there now. Are you? And okay. 900 should change 20. Hmm? Now clicking on here, see, employee record updated successfully. But I don't know, I'm not believing them. Then what we need to do? We have to get it. All the records, see, Anji 900, Anji changed. But I want to check in DB. Go ahead with DB and check here. Anji should change. Anji came. This is a for update. Okay. Now I want to update anyway. Based on ID is okay, but I want to get the data and I want to update something. That time we need to use. You can pass that way. What we need to do, we have to take the data from the database using find by ID and get the saving in the DB. That is the second way of doing. Now what we'll do, we will take care of. We will talk about something like uh, how to connect with one service to another service. Okay. Okay. Now we have a employee service. Service we wrote create, we wrote update, we wrote delete, we wrote get. Same we have a department service. Service. See, whenever you are writing a POC, that is nothing but a proof of concept service, one microservice you can say. Micro service. Now I have one more service called department service. My employee service is running in 8080 Tomcat port number. Now I want to department service also I want to run in my local 8080 is not working because already 8080 using in employee service. Then what we need? We have to change the server dot port. What is that? SCRVR server dot port equal to 8089 for example. Now what happened? Based on employee ID, my requirement is that BASCD based on EMP ID get the department DETILS details. The render connection is unstable. Okay. Now, how to achieve this requirement? Now they'll give you the requirement. This requirement will give the 10 days sprint. 10 days sprint. Now get mapping you need to write. Get mapping you need to write. Now where to change? Employee service only you need to change. Now what we need to do? First you have to define a database. What database? First employee database. Employee database what as employee ID, employee name, employee address, and DEPT, department ID. Okay, department ID. For example, 10, 20, 30, 40. Now my department table is there. Department. Oh, my voice is. Okay, I think so. Recording done. Can you please join another link? Yeah.